Katherine Alford from KatherineAlford.com. I'm a financial educator, a wife, and a mom to twins. And today I want to talk about how to be minimalist and have a baby. So my husband and I used to live abroad in Grenada, West Indies. We lived there in the Caribbean for 3 years, and while we were there, we learned so much about how to live with less. When we moved there, we sold so many of our things, including his car and clothes and furniture, and we booked a one-way plane ticket to the Caribbean, and we moved into a 270 square foot apartment. And when I say it was small, I really mean it was tiny. Like, you walked in and there was a kitchen, you made a left turn, there was a desk, and then our bedroom was right next to that with a really small bathroom. And we actually loved it, and we loved our landlords, and we had a wonderful experience living there, but it made us really think about how many things we wanted to bring into the house. Anytime we wanted to order something or ship something from the States, we'd have to pay, customs fees on it. So it really made us consider each and every purchase, and we ended up being able to save a lot of money because we just weren't spending it there. So towards the end of our time in the Caribbean, I got pregnant, and we found out that we were pregnant with twins. It was such a shock. It was so crazy, but I knew early on that I really wanted to try and bring the lessons of peace and minimalism that we had in the Caribbean back to our life in the United States. So when we moved back and I had my twins, I really did not buy a lot for them, and my friends and family thought I was crazy, and they kept saying it was really impossible and that you needed so many things to have a baby. They needed so much gear, and we really resisted a lot of that messaging, and I'm really glad we did, because we were able to moved to a little bit of a bigger apartment. It was about 800 square feet when we got back to the States. And I feel like we had a really good first year financially, even though we had so many expenses. My kids spent time in the NICU, and those bills were high. We ended up moving across the country, and all of these things cost so much. But because we kept things minimalist for the kids, we didn't have a lot to move for them, and we did not feel pressured to buy a lot. Here are some of my tips if you are also interested in being a minimalist and having a baby. So my very first tip is to only buy things for your children as they need them. I feel like even moms who are really great at shopping for sales, there's all this pressure to buy all kinds of gear and things and outside toys and nice clothes and just any kind of toy that people claim will help with their development. And your newborn really doesn't need a walker to teach them how to walk because they're newborn. And your newborn doesn't even need like a little bumbo seat because they're newborn. And so as your child goes through each phase, it's really good to purchase things only when you notice that they might benefit from it, or they might need it, or they've outgrown some of their tiny toys and the tiny things that they liked. So my second tip is, when you do decide to purchase something for your kids, that you let something go. And I know that many people might be saving things for future children, and I think that that's okay too, because it will save you money down the line. But just make sure that the things you're keeping are really high quality, and that you truly love them, and that they weren't super loud or had batteries or drove you crazy. And I think it's okay to keep some of those things. But for me, as soon as I knew I was having my twins, I was pretty positive then, as I still am now, that they were going to be my only kids. And so I got rid of things as we got new things. I also was pretty set on only having one box for each child for them to keep. I'm overwhelmed with my childhood possessions. I still haven't gone through a lot of my childhood possessions that my parents have sent me, and it's a lot, and I don't want my kids to have to deal with that. So they each have one box, and as they've gotten older, I've put some things in there that I thought were special, including like keepsakes or notes from their grandparents or special clothes or christening outfits, things like that. And every couple of months I check the box and I make sure that the things that I've decided to keep, that I really do like them. Like sometimes in the moment I notice I put like one of their favorite shirts in there. I'm like, oh, I can't, bear to part with this shirt. But a few months later, after they're not wearing it every day, I totally forgot that that was anything special. And so sometimes I'll take things out, and by adjusting through that, at the time of this video, my kids are 6 and they still just have that one box of special keepsakes, and that helps them keep their things minimalist, and they're going to be grateful for it when they're older and they're not overflowing with things. The same is true for their schoolwork. They each have one box with files in it that take them from preschool through 12th grade, and I just try to keep certain special things in each file and try not to let the schoolwork get crazy outside of that. So here is a list of things that we did not buy for our twins. We didn't buy any type of bassinet. Our twins slept in their crib from the first night we brought them home. We didn't buy swings. We didn't buy those bouncy seats, but a neighbor did come over one day and she couldn't believe that I didn't have anything to set them down. And so she ended up buying me one bouncy seat, and to her credit, it actually was really helpful. But we did not buy a lot of fancy clothes, didn't buy a lot of shoes for them when they were babies. We really just kept things super duper simple for them. And I was home with them because I'm an entrepreneur and own my own business, and I became self-employed right before they were born. So I had a stroller, but I didn't have multiple different kinds of strollers. And we just really thought hard about each and everything that we bought for them, to the point where people would come over and they would say, I don't even believe that 2 kids live here. I don't want you to think they were deprived. They had lots of books and toys and trips to the library and things like that. But as far as a household, we really did a good job of keeping things minimalist and saving our money, and that enabled me to continue to stay home and grow my business. And to be honest with you, right now with them older is more of a challenge than it was when they were babies, because now they're their own people and they have opinions, and they'll say things like, no, I wanted to save that for my kids and I really didn't want to give that away, or I want to keep that, or that's my favorite thing, when it's really not their favorite thing. And sometimes I'll toss toys thinking that nobody knew that they existed or cared about them, and then a week later one of my kids will be like, oh, where's that monkey I love so much? And I'm like, gosh, I haven't seen you play with that monkey in a long time. So it's kind of more of a push and pull now. But when they're babies, they don't know the difference. So I actually think that when you have a newborn, it's the best time to try to be a minimalist and try things out. And honestly, your home and just your energy is going to feel a lot better if it's full of less stuff. So I hope this helps you if you're pregnant and about to have a baby and you want to have a minimalist life. I hope this helps you know that it is possible even if you're having twins, and that there's no right or wrong answer. Some products work amazing for some babies and not so great for others. So it really does come down to you and your preferences. And so if you decide that there's something that you really want to have, and it's something I said I never had, that's great. You do whatever works for you, but just know that it is possible. And if you're constantly evaluating your things, you can absolutely create a minimalist home, even if you're a new mom with a new baby. Okay, I hope that helps. Have a great day, and please subscribe and like my channel. I publish new videos specifically for moms to help them make smarter financial choices and help their families grow and prosper. And I'd love to see you on another video. Bye.